This is Angola Football on Hometown Media. This is Angola Football is brought to you by Corcolato Sales, 715 East Maumee Street in Angola. This is Angola Football is also brought to you by the Steuben County REMC.
Steuben County REMC wants to give your students a memorable experience this summer. For an unforgettable day, high school students can apply for Page Day and spend the day in session with the Indiana Senate. High school students looking for a trip of a lifetime, check out the Indiana Youth Tour and have the Washington, D.C. experience. For your younger students in the 6th grade wanting to spread their wings, Touchstone Energy Camp is perfect for them. We can't forget the young artists in the family. Students of all ages can submit their artwork to the Cooperative Calendar Art Contest. Did I mention it's all free? Find out more information or apply at www.remcsteuben.com.
When Corcolato opened their doors in 1988, they made a pledge to provide quality and affordable pre-owned vehicles to the residents of Steuben County. Fast forward more than 30 years, and that same pledge holds true today. Stop by their lot on East Maumee or check out their inventory online anytime at corcolato.com. Corcolato, proudly supporting community events like high school athletics since 1988. Welcome into Inside Angola Football. I'm Brett Briscoe, joined by Coach Andy Thomas, and welcome to the season premiere edition. And Andy, this has been anything but your normal off season.
Yeah, it's been an all-timer, unprecedented, just like it is all the way around the country. I can't say enough about our kids and our parents for handling it right and doing the best that they can with it, the best that we could. Parents made it work, players made it work, and we didn't blink, didn't flinch in the process. So proud of them, and I like to think that we're just as in good shape as we've ever been any year with our practices. That was a little bit of a worry. Would we be behind? Did we not have enough in? We were able to cover everything, but that hasn't been a concern with the way our kids and parents and coaches have handled it.
And the off season was such a roller coaster. One day it would seem like, okay, we're going to be fine to get football in. The next day you really had to question, would we be able to get it in? And then once we got to July and the IHSAA said, you could start your off-season conditioning, you guys were able to get back on track pretty quick, weren't you?
Yeah, we did. I mean, we had to jump through some hoops the first couple weeks with not wearing gear, with not really using a bunch of equipment. We're trying to stay separated, which is hard to do in a contact sport like football. But like I said, the kids made the best of it and did everything they could to get us to this point. I'm just really so proud of our kids. I'm a grown man with life experience, and it was hard on me with the roller coaster that we went through in the month of June, the month of July, and then just every time you think something good happened the next day, it seems like the world was closing in. We're just happy to get to our first week of two-a-days, and we're happy to get to the scrimmage, and now we're just couldn't be more excited to get into this week of preparation and get to Friday.
We heard a lot of teams, a lot of coaches being creative during basically the downtime. Were you still able to communicate with the kids through Zoom or things like that?
We did, and we didn't start as early as other people, and I mean that can only go so far. We had meetings with the guys, we had leadership meetings with our seniors, we had class meetings, we had offense, defense, X's and O's meetings, and tried to check in with the guys as much as we can, much as we could. We showed them film, showed them our playbook, and we did the best we could with it. That's not how it's supposed to work. It's not how it's supposed to work in education or coaching or interaction with other human beings, but we made the best of it, and like I said, our kids and parents, they made it work.
Now we've got to this point, you've got a couple of weeks of practice in, you had your scrimmage, and just scrolling through Twitter on Saturday night and Sunday, it seemed like there was a lot more optimism that this can work.
Yeah, it's in the last maybe week and a half, it was the first couple days of two-a-days, the first couple days of August, it took a little bit of a turn where we don't know. But even last week when Michigan bowed out, we thought, that didn't hit us the same as it did when we've had setbacks in the summer and in very early August. So I really feel like we're full steam ahead. Our kids have done everything they could with trying to have masks and do everything that we're supposed to do. So we're just excited, excited for the opportunity. Really can't wait to get going.
And you mentioned Michigan pulling out going to spring. That leaves you with an opening on week 3.
Yeah.
And I know talking to Steve back during the summer, there was some talk, well, if that happens, that maybe we might go with an open date. We might try to fill it.
Yeah.
Is there any progress on that yet?
Well, a little bit. We had progress right away. We have a schooler that's close to us, about an hour away. They're kind of held to their opponent in week 3. They might be open, they might not. We have another one maybe 2 or so hours away. So I don't know. It's going to be an away game, we're pretty sure, and we're going to do the best we can to find a replacement game. But with the way things are now, a week to shut her down, and I mean, we wouldn't shut it down all the way, but a bye week might not be such a terrible thing if it gets to that.
And then Mark and I were talking the other night, the bye week would be good, but then if you have an opponent, say in week 2 or week 4, that for whatever reason can't play or you can't play, then all of a sudden you're looking at 2-3 weeks off.
Sure, yeah, and it's I think we've learned in this thing that you can't get too far ahead. We're just trying to get to the next day, get to Friday. We don't get too far down the road with our thoughts in any season anyway. It's one day at a time and 1 week at a time, and beyond that we don't think much farther than that. So really, we're just happy to get it going 1 week at a time. And if that would happen, sure, that wouldn't be ideal, but we would handle it just like we have and deal with it.
Okay, let's actually talk some football. That's why we're here. The Hornets open up the regular season this Friday night against the DeKalb Barons here at Angola Stadium. Normally we do this show in a studio, but under the circumstances we thought a little bit safer maybe to do it outside. But just in front of us, the field's empty. You can see the outlines where they're getting ready to put the A in the field. We're getting close.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun last Saturday. Kids really played hard in the scrimmage, and we were a little slow at first, but as the thing went on, guys got more and more excited to play and run around. It's maybe the uncertainty kind of maybe held us down a little bit as far as our emotion. We're a little slow on the uptake Saturday, but it was really fun on Saturday. And then we've talked about it this morning, talked about it before practice. There may be no more important game that we've ever had here at Angola High School and in this community. We've played a lot of big games, big championship games here and on the road, but this one has a major significance with everything that we've all gone through, and our guys trying to represent our community, and not only our program, but our community, their parents, everybody who are our fans, and representing them the right way. So this is a huge game in our eyes.
Having a chance to watch your team practice a few times this year, I think the first thing that jumps out to me is the overall team speed that you have.
Yeah, our guys worked hard in July. It was a warp speed training that we did with them, and we didn't kill them with weights and try to go real hard, especially early, because we didn't want to get anybody hurt. But we moved weight around fast, and our agility sessions were very intensive, like they always are. And our kids have handled difficult conditions out on the field very well. And even last Saturday, we had more in the tank than New Haven did, really after about the first series of plays. So just proud of our kids for working hard in July, and not only have they been in great shape because of the short, intense session they've had, but that they've added to their ability to move places faster.
And a lot of that's a credit to them for coming in shape.
Yeah, no question. I'd be naive to think that everybody was hitting it hard 3 times a week like we asked them to. We didn't have to call a bunch of trainers or ambulances when we were first going. I know their guys were sore, but they were doing some things in the off season or in the time that we didn't see them, doing some things that we asked them to do.
You look at last year, 4-6. It could have been reversed 6-4 or even 7-2 really easy if the ball bounces a different way a couple of different times. But I think we saw the improvement that you made from week 1 and 2 to that sectional final game when you legitimately had a chance to beat Leo, the team that ended up losing to East Noble in the sectional championship?
Yeah, and, our focus this year has been to make sure that we take care of the little things. When you look at a season like we had and the way that it unfolded, where you have so many close games and you just can't squeeze it out, I think that's a reflection of there's some details that slipped, and it's not just the players, it's coaches, it's everything in our program. We've had to have let some little things get away from us and some small things, and everybody knows that it's when you've won some games and had a lot of success, it's sometimes harder to get motivated. It's much more easy on the climb than it is when you're up there, and we were up there, and maybe that was part of it. So we still have good kids in our program. They still played hard last year. That didn't change at all, but it was a good lesson for all of us that we still have to take care of every last detail. No detail is insignificant, and we still got to pour over everything to be successful, and that's been something that I know our guys have been cognizant of, players and coaches, as we've started our preparation this year.
A little bit different, or some minor changes to the coaching staff. Nick has stepped away. He's pursuing his administrator's license, so you've taken over the defense. Miles Geary has taken over the offense. How's that changed things?
No, it won't change anything. It's the same X's and O's. Our football has been the same for largely for 20 years. Football is the same. It's adults and coaches that overcomplicate it sometimes. It's about blocking the other guy and tackling the other guy and running as fast as you can to get there. That's what it's all about. So it's the same football that we've used and been successful with, and kids are doing a good job with it.
Let's talk about the offense. Come back with your quarterback and your fullback and the Hasselman brothers, Tucker at quarterback, Finley at fullback. Nice set of kids to build around.
Yeah, I mean they're tough kids, great kids, just tough as nails. We showed some film of the scrimmage today before we went out, and Finley was doing a lot of BYOB, which is be your own blocker, just making yards after contact, even when things weren't real pretty for him. So just a couple of tough kids, great family. They get it. They're not afraid of anything and not afraid to work hard. So we got those guys, and we got a bunch of guys like them that are selfless, hard workers, and excited to build around those guys.
And then you've got guys like Lincoln Schreiber. You're going to have Tyler Culp, I presume, in the slot from what I've seen in practice a lot. And then tell us about the big kid you got at wide receiver.
We got Gage King at wide receiver, Jake Lands at wide receiver, Jackson Nafziger, J.R. Grace played some there last Saturday. So, just a lot of guys. I mean, six, 7 guys back that played a lot of football last year. So early in the summer, our offense was a lot faster on the uptake than the defense was, because there were a lot of guys back and they knew what they were doing. There wasn't a lot of retraining. So a lot of good pieces to build around, and talented kids that played a lot of football.
And I know your offensive line, I mean, this is a part of the team that always takes a lot of pride in their work.
Yeah, no question. And they work so hard doing the difficult things, and it's all day, every day for them. Tim McCumber, Coy Bramus, Zach Sturry, Ashton Campagna, Dylan Oberlin are the 5 starters on our varsity offensive line right now, but a bunch of guys have taken to the culture of the O-line, that there's no more team within a team than an O-line anywhere you are, and those guys have carried on that tradition.
Let's talk about the defense a little bit. First thing that jumps out to you is a couple of holes you got to fill, and Kyle Trick and Ryan Brand, who of course is at Purdue, but you still got some really good kids back. Yeah,
up front we've got Dawson Gorel, Jake Land, Cassius Lacey, Brandon Villafuerte, and also maybe some of those offensive guys might get some looks up front to give us some depth. But those guys have slowly gotten better as the summers went on. In the secondary, Tyler Call, Zach Buell started 10 games last year, so he's got a lot of experience. Garrett Souter in the secondary also has a lot of experience. And then other safeties, Connor Tonko, Andrew Sagers. So we have some guys that know our system, and it's just a matter of being fundamentally sound and getting the ball and trying to create some turnovers when we get there as well. Linebacker-wise, we get Kyle Brandt, Jack Archibald, Lane Word, Tucker Hasselman, Gage King maybe, Giovanni Tagliaferri, Cassius Andre at outside linebacker. So a lot of guys that I think that'll be able to give us some depth, and also Brandon Villafuerte, very impressive at nose guard. I don't know if I mentioned him, but has made a lot of great plays. Looked very, very good in the scrimmage. He's going to be a great player for us as well.
And a lot of those kids you mentioned, I mean, that gives you a lot of speed on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, they're guys that can run, and no question. And sometimes we'll be in packages where we move around a little bit. Sometimes maybe not as much when there are bigger guys in there, but you don't have to be fast to run fast. Okay, so just because if you don't run a 4.5, that's okay, as long as you run a 4.9 all the time. Run as fast as you can all the time. So as long as we get guys running as hard as they can to the ball all the time, every play, then we're going to be in good shape.
Let's talk a bit about the opponent coming up on Friday night. It's always a big game. We're used to seeing huge crowds for the Angola DeKalb game. Won't be the case this Friday night. But the Barons come to town. They've got a new coach, but they've got a familiar kid we saw a lot of last year in Tanner Jack.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good player. He might be faster than anyone that we have. Their quarterback, Corey Price, number 2, is a very dangerous kid. He's very fast, a great runner. Got in the game, played some quarterback last year for them. They got Curtis Martin, number 6, their middle linebacker, plays running back. He's a good inside runner. Tight end, Snyder, 84, good player, and they got capable wideouts, and they had a good line last year and a lot of guys back. So this is a huge challenge for us. They are a good team with a lot of experience, and we're going to have to practice like crazy Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And we've talked about games are won Monday through Thursday. We're off to a good start so far, and it's going to be true again this week. We've got to have a great week of practice.
Have you talked to your kids? Obviously, very limited number of fans in the stands. It's basically going to be parents. Have you talked to them about having to create maybe some of their own energy?
Well, we always do that. I mean, motivation is like bathing. It's something you got to do every day. You can't rely on coaches. We always say don't let a bunch of old guys dictate the practice. You be the one. You be the ones that are providing the energy and providing the juice. So that has to come from within. And we always have a theme of the week. Every game we spend a lot of time, just as much in our X's and O's sometimes, thinking about what kind of message that we're going to develop and concentrate on throughout the week. And there's really not a lot that we need to do or should need to do for a game like this, game 1, after everything that we've all been through, to get guys motivated. If you can't get motivated for this game, then forget about it. So I know our guys are going to be sky high. Then they know it's not all about Fridays. It has to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday first. But I expect us to be out on the field, flying around, and very, very intense and have a lot of energy.
With everything this offseason has been, the roller coasters, the ups and downs, the zigs, the zags, is there just going to be a time Friday night when you get on the field, you're getting ready to kick off, and just kind of take a deep breath and say, we made it?
Well, we kind of had that moment Saturday a little bit. And I don't know. Before a game, there's a lot of things going through our minds about what we're going to do and the things that we need to get right. But certainly getting this thing kicked off on Friday with the work that both schools and both programs and communities have put in is going to be a special moment.
And if there was ever a year where take it one game at a time meant more and be accountable to your teammates, those two phrases, I mean, I don't think they've ever meant more than what they're going to mean this year.
No question. And it's, if there's any lesson to be learned in this for the whole thing, then maybe that's it for our kids. You got to play the cards that you're dealt. You deal with things as they come, and just do the absolute best you can with it.
Andy, it's been a crazy off season, but we finally made it to week 1 of the high school football season, and we'll have all the action right here on Hometown Media. So if you can't go, I know a lot of restaurants are going to be showing the game, so find a place, get with some friends, watch it on your TV, and we'll try to bring the action to you the best we can.
Thanks a lot for having us.
Steuben County REMC wants to give your students a memorable experience this summer. For an unforgettable day, high school students can apply for Page Day and spend the day in session with the Indiana Senate. High school students looking for a trip of a lifetime, check out the Indiana Youth Tour and have the Washington, D.C. experience. For your younger students in the 6th grade wanting to spread their wings, Touchstone Energy Camp is perfect for them. We can't forget the young artists in the family. Students of all ages can submit their artwork to the Cooperative Calendar Art Contest. Did I mention it's all free? Find out more information or apply at www.remcsteuben.com.
When Corcolato opened their doors in 1988, they made a pledge to provide quality and affordable pre-owned vehicles to the residents of Steuben County. Fast forward more than 30 years, and that same pledge holds true today. Stop by their lot on East Maumee or check out their inventory online anytime at corcolato.com. Corcolato, proudly supporting community events like high school athletics since 1988. This is Angola Football on Hometown Media. This is Angola Football is brought to you by Corcolato Sales, 715 East Maumee Street in Angola. This is Angola Football is also brought to you by the Steuben County REMC.